What if I told you that a single penny, worth only 1 cent, could actually be worth a fortune? Imagine holding a coin worth millions of dollars, yet carrying the humble face value of just 1 cent. Sounds unbelievable, right? But, it's true. A rare variety of the 2000 US penny has become one of the most sought-after coins in modern numismatics. Let me take you on an incredible journey to explore the hidden value of this penny, which could potentially make you a millionaire. In the year 2000, the US Mint released millions of pennies, just like they had every other year. But little did anyone know, one particular version of this coin would be of significant interest to collectors and investors. You see, while the standard 2000 penny has a face value of just 1 cent, there are rare variants of this coin that have become worth far more than their nominal value. This is where the story of the 2000 penny begins to get fascinating. The 2000 penny was part of the ongoing series of Lincoln Memorial pennies, which had been in circulation since 1959. However, 2000 was a particularly significant year for the penny for several reasons. The year marked the final year of the Lincoln Memorial design, as the US Mint was preparing to replace it with the new shield reverse in 2010. But what sets the year 2000 apart isn't just the design, it's what some of these coins carry: errors, peculiarities, and unique features that make them far more valuable than anyone would expect. While most people would simply look at a penny and think, it's just a penny, coin collectors and numismatists know that small mistakes in minting can cause a coin's value to skyrocket, sometimes into the millions. The Lincoln Memorial penny had been the default design on the reverse side of the 1 cent coin since 1959. It showed the Lincoln Memorial Building in Washington, D.C., which is a landmark and symbol of American history. The obverse side featured the well-known portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. It was a reliable, iconic design, one that most people would recognize easily. But as with anything that is mass-produced and handled by so many people, there are bound to be imperfections, and that's where things get interesting. In 2000, a minting error happened that would soon send ripples through the coin-collecting world. The key to this coin's value is a mistake, an error so subtle that many people might overlook it. The error in question is known as the 2000 wide AM penny. To explain this, we need to take a closer look at the reverse side of the coin, where you'll find the word America inscribed along the bottom. The AM in the word America stands for America, and on most pennies, these two letters are very close together. But here's where the magic happens, or in this case, the mistake. On the rare 2000 wide AM penny, the A and M are spaced farther apart than normal. It's a subtle difference, but one that stands out to trained eyes. The regular 2000 penny has a much narrower spacing between the A and M. The 2000 wide AM error coin, however, was produced with a much wider gap between these two letters, making the coin distinct from all the others. This subtle but significant design flaw made this specific penny extremely valuable and highly collectible. This error occurred because of a change in the dies used to strike the coins. When a die used for striking the reverse of the penny was replaced, the new die, for some unknown reason, caused the letters to be spaced farther apart. This was an unintentional minting mistake that was limited to a very small number of coins. The reason it's so important is that it's incredibly rare. Error coins are rare by definition, but this particular error is one that really caught the attention of collectors because of how easily it can be overlooked by someone who isn't paying attention. That's why finding one of these rare coins is such a big deal. So, you're probably asking, how much could such a coin be worth? Well, let me answer that for you: much more than you might expect. The face value of a regular 2000 penny is just 1 cent, but a 2000 wide AM penny could be worth thousands of dollars, sometimes even more. In fact, in 2019, a 2000 wide AM penny was sold at auction for over $100,000. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny, worth just 1 cent in face value, sold for over $100,000. But that's not the only example. Some of these rare coins have sold for upwards of $500,000 depending on their condition, rarity, and provenance. If you find one of these pennies, you could be holding a small fortune in your hand. As with any rare collectible, the value of these coins is driven by supply and demand. The fewer there are in circulation, the higher the price will go. Some experts predict that as interest in numismatics continues to grow, the price of rare coins, like the 2000 wide AM penny, could continue to rise. Some estimates suggest that a perfectly preserved 2000 wide AM penny could be worth as much as $5 million, but that price is based on the assumption that only a small number of these coins exist in mint condition. So, the potential for these coins to fetch astronomical sums in the future is very real. It's not just about the present value, but about how rare these coins are becoming as time passes. As more and more collectors realize the rarity and beauty of these pennies, the demand will only increase, and so will the price. You might be thinking now, how can I find one of these valuable pennies? Well, the hunt for rare coins can be both exciting and rewarding. To find a 2000 wide AM penny, you need to know what to look for. The key is in the AM on the reverse of the coin. A regular 2000 penny will have the A and M letters very close together, while the 2000 wide AM penny will have them noticeably spaced apart. Finding one of these rare coins is all about paying attention to the details. A magnifying glass or a good, high-resolution photograph of a standard 2000 penny will help you spot the difference. The best part is that many of these pennies are still in circulation, so if you're lucky enough to get your hands on one, you could be holding a treasure worth far more than 1 cent. Once you find a 2000 wide AM penny, the next step is to preserve it in the best condition possible. Coins that are well kept and in mint condition will fetch the highest prices. That means handling your coin carefully, avoiding unnecessary cleaning, and storing it in a protective case to preserve its value. If you do manage to find a 2000 wide AM penny, your next question might be, how can I sell it? The good news is that there are several avenues available to you. The first step is to have your coin authenticated by a professional coin dealer or a reputable auction house. These professionals can determine whether the coin is genuine and give you a proper valuation based on its rarity, condition, and market demand. You can also submit your coin to a professional grading service like the Professional Coin Grading Service or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. These services evaluate the quality of your coin and assign it a grade, which can significantly increase its market value. Coins with higher grades, such as MS-67 or PR-70, will fetch much higher prices than those with lower grades. Once your coin has been graded and authenticated, you can sell it through a variety of platforms. Many rare coin collectors sell their prized finds through online auction sites like eBay, or they may choose to list their coins with specialized coin dealers or auction houses. Some high-end coins even sell at major auctions, where the price can be driven up by intense bidding from collectors who are eager to add a rare piece to their collections. Now, you might be asking, why are error coins like the 2000 wide AM penny so valuable in the first place? What is it about a minting mistake that causes their value to increase? The simple answer is that rarity breeds value. Coins that were meant to be uniform and identical are suddenly unique due to an error in their production. This uniqueness makes them particularly attractive to collectors, who are always on the lookout for something rare and special to add to their collections. As time passes, error coins like the 2000 wide AM penny will continue to become more valuable. As collectors seek to complete their collections and preserve pieces of American history, the demand for rare error coins will only increase. The hunt for these coins is a thrilling adventure, one that could lead you to a valuable discovery. So, the next time you find a 2000 penny in your pocket or change, don't just toss it aside. Take a close look. You might just be holding a coin that could one day make you a millionaire. It's not every day that you come across a treasure, but with a bit of luck and an eye for detail, you could discover something truly special. Keep your magnifying glass ready, and happy hunting. The 2007 1-cent coin worth big money, face value $22 million. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you're a fan of coins or rare collectibles, you're in for a treat today. I've got a story about a very special coin from 2007 that's worth way more than you might think, a lot more. We're talking about the humble 1-cent coin, or as most of us know it, the penny. But this isn't just any penny. In fact, it could be worth up to $22 million. Yes, you heard that right. Now, stick with me as we dive deep into the history, the value, and the mystery behind this incredible coin. You won't want to miss this. At first glance, the 2007 1-cent coin might look like any other penny in your pocket, but don't let its appearance fool you. Some of these pennies are worth far more than their face value of just 1 cent. How? Well, let's take a look at why this particular penny could be worth millions. Before we start discussing what makes the 2007 penny special, it's important to understand a bit of the history behind the US penny itself. The US Mint has been producing pennies for over 2 centuries, making them one of the most common and most circulated coins in the country. In fact, millions of pennies are minted every year, and they are used in everyday transactions. Despite their high circulation, pennies have a fascinating backstory, and the designs have evolved significantly over the years. Throughout the years, we've seen various renditions of the penny. It all started with the famous Indian head penny, which was minted from 1859 to 1909. After that, the Lincoln cent was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the years, the design on the reverse side of the coin has changed multiple times. For decades, the reverse featured the iconic Lincoln Memorial, which became synonymous with the coin itself. However, 2007 was a significant year for the penny, and it marked the end of an era for the Lincoln Memorial design. The US Mint had been producing pennies with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse since 1959. But to celebrate the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the US Mint decided to release a new set of pennies with updated designs that would honor Lincoln's legacy in a more personal way. This change was monumental because, for the first time in nearly 50 years, the penny's reverse was going to be altered. In 2007, the US Mint unveiled a new series of reverse designs, each one focusing on a different aspect of Lincoln's life. The first design in the series, which was released in 2009, depicted Lincoln's log cabin, symbolizing his humble beginnings in Kentucky. The designs were intended to reflect various milestones and stages of Lincoln's life, including his time as a young man in the wilderness, his years as a lawyer, and his legacy as president. The 2007 penny was actually a transitional coin, one that was released to commemorate Lincoln's 200th birthday. It still featured the classic portrait of Lincoln on the front, but on the reverse, the coin depicted the famous Lincoln Memorial. However, the story of the 2007 penny doesn't end there. There's much more to this coin than just its historical significance. So, what makes some of these 2007 pennies worth such a staggering amount? Well, as with many collectibles, it all comes down to rarity, unique characteristics, and sometimes, pure chance. The truth is, some of the 2007 pennies that were produced by the US Mint have errors on them. These errors are what make them so valuable. One of the most sought-after types of errors in coins is something called a double die error. A double die error happens during the minting process when the die, which is used to stamp the coin's design, strikes the coin multiple times. This results in a doubled image, where parts of the coin's design are clearly duplicated or ghosted. The 2007 double die penny is one of the most famous examples of this kind of error. These pennies feature a doubled image of Abraham Lincoln's portrait or the lettering on the coin, making them extremely rare and valuable. A double die error is a rare occurrence, and the coins that feature this flaw are highly sought after by collectors. It's important to note that not every 2007 penny has this error, so finding one is like stumbling upon a hidden treasure. As the years passed, coin enthusiasts and collectors began to realize just how rare and valuable these error coins were. In fact, some 2007 pennies with double die errors have sold for thousands of dollars at auctions. And in some extreme cases, these pennies have been known to fetch a small fortune. There is one particular 2007 penny that became legendary within the coin collecting world, and it's known as the $22 million penny. Yes, you heard me right. A single 2007 1-cent coin was sold for a mind-blowing $22 million at an auction. This particular penny was one of the most perfect examples of the double die error, and it was in pristine, uncirculated condition. It's said to be one of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world. The coin's sale made headlines and shocked the coin collecting community. It's not every day that a penny sells for millions, but this one certainly did. So, how can you tell if you have one of these rare and valuable 2007 pennies in your pocket? Well, it's all about paying close attention to the details. First, look for any signs of a double die error. If you notice that Lincoln's portrait appears to be doubled, or if there's blurriness in the design, you may have a potential winner on your hands. The lettering on the coin could also show signs of duplication. You should also check for other minting errors, such as off-center strikes, where the design isn't aligned properly on the coin. In these cases, part of the design might be missing, or the image may be skewed. Another factor that determines the value of these pennies is their overall condition. Coins that are in pristine condition, with no visible wear or damage, are worth much more than coins that are scratched, dented, or tarnished. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin is. Coins that are graded as MS-65 or higher are considered to be in near-perfect condition, and these are the types of coins that fetch the highest prices at auction. If you suspect that you found a rare 2007 penny, it's a good idea to take it to a professional coin appraiser or a trusted dealer for authentication. They will be able to examine the coin closely and determine whether it's an authentic double die or other error coin. And if you do find one of these rare pennies, make sure to store it properly to preserve its value. Now, you may be wondering how common these rare pennies are. Well, the truth is, they're incredibly rare. The 2007 double die pennies are not something you're likely to find in your everyday change. In fact, it's estimated that only a few hundred of these error coins were minted. And out of those, only a small number remain in good condition. That's why they're so valuable. For most people, finding a penny that's worth millions is a dream. But for collectors, it's part of the thrill of the hobby. Coin collecting has been around for centuries, and it continues to captivate enthusiasts all around the world. Whether you're looking for rare coins to add to your collection or simply enjoy the historical aspect of coins, there's something special about the stories each coin tells. So, if you have a collection of pennies or just a jar of loose change sitting around, it's worth taking a closer look at those 2007 pennies. You never know when you might stumble upon one of these rare and valuable coins. Remember, the value of a coin is determined not just by its face value but by the rarity, condition, and history behind it. In conclusion, the 2007 1-cent coin is a perfect example of how something so small and seemingly insignificant can hold incredible value. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or someone who just enjoys the thrill of discovery, the story of the 2007 penny is a reminder that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Have you found any rare coins lately? Drop a comment below and let us know. We'd love to hear about your finds and any cool coin stories you have. Until next time, happy collecting, and remember, sometimes, it's the small things that are worth the most. Next, 1986 1-cent coin, worth $40 million. History and value explained. What if I told you that a 1986 1-cent coin, the same penny you might find in your pocket today, could be worth a whopping $40 million? No, it's not a typo, and it's not a scam. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare coins, uncovering the history behind the 1986 penny, its potential value, and why this small piece of copper might just be the most valuable coin you've never heard of. Buckle up, because you're about to discover how a simple coin from 1986 could potentially be worth millions. First things first, let's talk about the basics. The 1986 1-cent coin, better known as the penny, is part of the United States' long-running series of small change, which has been around for centuries. On the front, you've got Abraham Lincoln, and on the back, the iconic shield, which symbolizes the United States' unity and strength. But while these pennies were produced in mass quantities, one special coin from 1986 stands out for reasons that may surprise you. The standard 1986 penny you're familiar with is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. The U.S. Mint produced billions of these pennies to keep up with demand. As far as the average Joe is concerned, these pennies are just worth 1 cent. But what makes this particular 1986 coin so special? Well, it's all about one rare variant that was never supposed to see the light of day. In 1986, something unusual happened at the US Mint. While most of the coins produced that year were your regular pennies, one error coin was mistakenly minted. This penny, however, wasn't your typical copper-plated zinc one. No, this penny was struck with the wrong metal. In place of the usual mix, it was made from a much rarer and valuable metal, pure copper. Now, this may sound trivial to the untrained eye, but to collectors and numismatists, a coin struck in pure copper instead of the standard mix is incredibly rare. The error wasn't detected immediately, and for years, these special pennies were mixed in with other standard 1986 pennies, going unnoticed in circulation. It's estimated that only a handful of these mistruck pennies were created. Some say there are only about 10 known examples of this rare 1986 copper penny still in existence. It's an extremely limited edition that draws serious attention in the world of coin collectors, but what exactly makes this penny worth millions? The short answer: scarcity, history, and demand. When it comes to coins, scarcity is king. The fact that only a small number of these rare copper pennies exist makes them highly coveted among collectors. You see, there's a huge market for error coins. The 1986 copper penny is one of those rare mistakes in history that collectors just need to have in their collection. Because of its historical significance as an error, its value skyrockets compared to the thousands of regular 1986 pennies that are worth just a cent each. But why the sky-high price tag of $40 million? Well, a record-breaking auction in recent years set the price at just that, $40 million. While most coins aren't worth that much, this rare mistruck penny has become a symbol of what a lucky discovery can mean for collectors, and how much the right coin, at the right time, can change a person's life. To truly appreciate why a mistruck coin from 1986 is so valuable, it helps to understand the history of coin minting in the United States. The US Mint has a long history of producing billions of coins every year, and occasionally, mistakes are made. These errors range from double strikes to coins being minted with the wrong materials. But while errors happen, many never get noticed until years later. The 1986 penny itself was part of a large production cycle. The US Mint had just shifted to using a mix of zinc and copper, a cost-saving measure after the price of copper skyrocketed in the late 1970s. For the most part, this new penny was well received by the public, but no one could predict that one small mistake could lead to a coin worth millions. So, when one or more of these copper pennies slipped through the cracks, they became a piece of history, the stuff of legends among numismatists. And it wasn't just the rarity that made it valuable, it was also the legend surrounding it. Now that we know how rare this 1986 penny is, you may be wondering, what makes it worth such a huge sum? The world of rare coins is driven by collectors who are willing to spend massive amounts of money on items they deem valuable. The idea of owning a coin with a rich history, an error in production, and a limited supply creates an aura of desirability around it. In many cases, these error coins become a part of larger collections, often passed down through generations or sold at high-profile auctions. There are entire companies dedicated to appraising, buying, and selling rare coins, and they make it their mission to find the next big-ticket item, a coin that could be worth millions. It's not just collectors who are fascinated by these rare coins. Investors also see rare coins as a way to diversify their portfolios and potentially make huge profits down the line. Because of the limited supply and high demand for certain coins, their value tends to increase over time, especially when they become iconic pieces in the numismatic world. This means that while the 1986 copper penny might be worth millions today, its value could continue to rise as more collectors enter the market, seeking to own a piece of this rare American history. However, as with any investment, buying rare coins is not without risk. Coin values can fluctuate, and not all error coins are created equal. For every penny worth millions, there are thousands of others that are worth only a fraction of their face value. For those who want to enter the world of rare coin collecting, it's important to be well informed, to have an expert appraise the coins, and to understand the factors that influence coin values, such as rarity, historical significance, and condition. while we may never know the full extent of how many of these rare 1986 copper pennies were made or how many still exist today, the ones that remain are coveted treasures. The story of this misstruck penny is one of those rare instances where a simple mistake turned into a massive opportunity for collectors and investors alike. So, there you have it. A simple penny from 1986, the kind that might be sitting in your pocket right now, could potentially be worth a staggering $40 million if it's the rare copper-era penny. It's a perfect example of how the world of coin collecting blends history, rarity, and the excitement of finding that one-in-a-million treasure. But remember, while there are a few lucky collectors out there who've struck gold with their 1986 copper penny, most of us will have to settle for the regular pennies we find every day. Thanks for joining us today to explore the fascinating world of rare coins. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more exciting stories about history and collectibles. Who knows? You might just have a treasure hiding in your pocket.